Welcome back to the channel. I wanted to take a couple of minutes just to talk about composition. Um, I recently had my violin sonata recorded, and just wanted to talk about composition and the process that I use to compose my music. The piece I wrote was built around kind of two chords. So this C minor 9 thing, moving to an A flat major 7. I really liked that sound, so I wanted to kind of build a piece around that sound. When Beethoven wrote his Ninth Symphony, he was completely deaf, right? And people find that amazing, and it is. Obviously, the music he wrote was amazing, and music he was writing even after the Ninth Symphony was also amazing. To me, the late string quartets do not get enough love, especially Opus 132, string quartet number 15. Probably one of the greatest pieces of music ever written, beyond the Ninth Symphony, I think. Maybe not, but up there. But it's like, how could he compose music completely deaf? I think it's much less amazing when you have been composing for your whole life and you've been studying music your whole life. For instance, we all know, if you're following my channel, you probably do, that major scale. So if you can internalize what sounds like in your head, you put that on paper, you can more or less start to maybe harmonize that scale, right? We can my sloppy piano playing. And each one of these has a different sound. The same scale, but I'm giving it a different context. So what I challenge any musician to do is to start composing, start putting pen to paper, expressing yourself, and then maybe going back and seeing what the composition sounds like. There he is. Yeah. I figured I'd talk about composition for a couple minutes. So what I challenge any musician to do is to start composing, start putting pen to paper if you have that ability. I see you, Rye. Maybe you should try this too. Start composing, start putting pen to paper, because if you can internalize these intervals and know what they sound like on paper, you'll know what it sounds like on an instrument, on a violin, on a piano. So, for instance, when I recorded my violin sonata, which maybe I'll send to you, Rye, send it. I composed the piece just pen to paper, stream of consciousness, so I was only thinking about the intervals and what kind of interaction they're going to have. So like I said, it's built on this C minor 9 going to an A flat major 7. And then I was kind of putting some color notes on top of it. So instead of it just being an A flat major 7, I'd put a D natural up top. And then I would go maybe to the 4 chord for a minor 6 chord. And then back to our C minor. A good way to also do this, if you're a jazz musician perhaps and you don't compose, I recommend you write contrafacts. So you take a song, say a basic jazz standard, it could be even just be Happy Birthday, it could be any song, have a chord progression, and start to compose over that chord progression, over those set of chords. And compose maybe a solo over those set of chords, and then go back, grab your instrument, and see what it sounds like. I think most of my musician friends don't do this, and I don't think most literate musicians don't do this enough, is sit down with a pen and paper and either free write, free compose, or give yourself some structure. Give yourself, like I said, a 4-bar chord progression or a song that you know, jazz standard, and compose over the top of those changes. Oftentimes when I did this, it's also called contrafact. So you take a tune like Autumn Leaves or All the Things You Are, and I'll compose over those changes in treble clef, And then I'll grab my instrument, put on a backing track, and play along and see what I compose. I'll kind of sight read through it. Maybe I'll put on a slow backing track and kind of sight read through what I've written. And oftentimes you might surprise yourself, especially with a lot of practice. You might write something, or you probably will compose something that you would never play or come up with on the instrument yourself. I've composed things that I would never write sitting at a piano or playing guitar, but sitting there with a pen and paper, I'm able to think of things differently, I suppose, because the medium is different. The medium is totally different than if you're sitting there with your instrument. So I recommend that to all my musician comrades and friends. Sit and just compose, and oftentimes compose through to the end if you can. A through composition, whether it's one voice, two voices, a contrafact, a chord progression. Compose through to the end and then go back and see what it sounds like. So the idea would be, so when I composed my violin sonata, I did have an idea in mind. I had, like I said, these chords, which is kind of like almost like a polychord. It's like a C minor and a G minor on top of each other. It's a cool sound. It's like a C minor 9, and like I said, going to A flat major 7. And I think oftentimes when in my composition, so you'd have this, and then it would go here. The voicing might be different though. It'd probably be here. Oh shoot. It'd be more like that. But I had, you have ideas and see what they work out, see what they sound like after the fact. Hope this is making sense. I'm just encouraging people to compose. Maybe inspiring people to compose. I hope so. I think that's it for this live stream. So, again, going back to the basic concepts, if you can internalize... If you can internalize that, and you know what that looks like on paper, well, you can internalize a lot more and have this stuff kind of in your head. And you can explore and start to go maybe outside those bounds a little bit. And you might surprise yourself, is the whole point of this. So, I don't know. That's it. Peace. Until next time, I'm probably going to do another vlog tonight where I play through the E minor prelude from Well-Tempered Clavier on guitar. But yeah, so it's one, internalizing your intervals. Internalizing a scale, maybe even thinking of chords that you know, simple chords. And yeah, get composing. That's it. Peace. Until next time, like and subscribe, and check out my violin sonata. Soon to be available everywhere, but it's available on